This episode brought to you by Chuck's Sewer Plumbing and Drain. Also by Nicholson Realty 2.0. Welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Conrad. Let's go.
I'm Ted. It's time to rock and roll.
Teddy, we're going to talk about our March Madness brackets and as well as that first round. What'd you think of the first round? The second round's beginning today at noon.
Yeah, first round. We had about 5 upsets. McNeese State over Clemson by 2. Arkansas, the number 10 seed, beat number 7 Kansas, which Kansas had a pretty tough year. And 11 Drake beat 6 Mississippi.
Yes.
Or Missouri, I'm sorry. They beat them by 10.
Yeah, you're right.
And you look, Colorado State pulled the upset on Memphis. That's a 12 beating a 5. Beat them by 8. And then a 10 New Mexico beat number 7 Marquette.
Yes.
So
the first round of the tournament, I didn't think it was as much as excitement as in the past, but there was still a little bit of up and downs. What'd you think about the McNeese Cowboys and the Clemson Tigers? I mean, McNeese stunned Clemson 69-67. That victory, I mean, that marked their first ever tournament win.
Right.
Brandon Murray really stood out in that game. He had 21 points.
Well, I mean,
Do you think Clemson was just shocked at how well McNeese played?
no, I think that was coaching. I mean, Will Wade he's an amazing coach. I mean, look, he was at LSU a couple years ago, ran into some problems and lost his job. So you start over, and now he's already agreed to become North Carolina State coach.
That's a good perspective, man.
He
I like that.
he was in the rumor mill for the IU job.
Do you think he should have got it?
From what I've been reading the last couple of days, IU had their mind made up mid-season who they were going to hire. They did some scouting on this coach last year in a couple of tournaments.
I don't like when they go in with their minds made up. I like it. I'd like it to be a competition.
Yeah.
And that's just my view. I don't like shoe-ins. I like a little bit of, let's bring out the best in each other. Let's see who can really lead IU back to prominence.
Well, and that's what I
just
mean.
my take.
I don't think they're ever going to get back to where they were. I really don't. I mean, there were rumors going around a couple of days ago as well that they were talking about bringing Tom Crean back. And in my opinion, he's the best coach IU's had since Bobby Knight was terminated. I think Crean, he led them to 4 or 5 tournaments, 2 Sweet 16s. So,
What does it come down to now, Ted? I mean, recruiting, NIL. I mean, there's so many other variables now with college sports. How do you put a team together and make them last to build that chemistry?
money.
Yeah,
and like I said, would you want to be a college coach right now with this NIL stuff going on?
man,
I mean, look, Tony Bennett quit, Jay Wright quit, 2 of the best coaches there ever were, due to this NIL stuff. Because you might have this kid for 1 year, because he might have an exceptional season, and then some other schools are going to say, "Hey, I got $5 million if you transfer to my school." They got to figure this NIL out somehow. In my opinion, there are some states that have already high school. They're allowing it for high school athletes.
yeah.
It's just a matter of time before all 50 are in there.
Yeah. Going back to these upsets, every one of these I did not pick. So I had Clemson beating McNeese, and the next game, Drake Bulldogs, and the Missouri Tigers. I had Missouri winning that. Drake came and secured a 67-57 win over Missouri. They kind of showcased that they have the potential for a deep tournament run.
They do,
Which is interesting.
They've got
And where they go from there, it'll be. Here again, Teddy, it goes to show that I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable about the sports world, but I can't pick them. I just can't. I should have let my brand new 2-year-old daughter pick
Yep.
them.
Or one of your animals.
Yeah, JoJo. JoJo knows who's a good person, who's not.
That's right. But Drake's got a very good coach too. He's one of the hot names going around now. So
Making a name for himself.
yes, he is.
Arkansas Razorbacks and the Kansas Jayhawks. Did you see that coming?
Yeah, I did because like I said earlier, Kansas just they've had a year this year like I can't remember the last time. It's been before Bill Self was there, and they Kansas has had some top notch coaches. Larry Brown, Roy Williams.
Even though he's a Jayhawk, there's a Hoosier over there,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Flory?
Yeah, Flory.
He had a decent season.
Yeah. First year in the NCAA tournament.
Yep,
I'm pretty interested to see what a sophomore season
Yep.
will look like.
I am too. That could be one of the next Indiana players to go to the NBA. Somebody
So-
from Indiana.
Yeah, I hope that he just keeps getting better and better because he's got all the attributes of. How tall is he?
Was it 6'10"?
Something like that. You know who he, like his length and his arms. He kind of reminds me of Kevin Garnett a little bit, but Kevin Garnett was more take charge for how skinny Kevin Garnett was.
Oh, yeah.
He was a bit of a.
He it still is. I mean, he's a lot of finesse, I think, in his game.
Yeah.
I look at Flory, and person that he reminds me of is Zach Randolph. A little bit bigger, which I noticed, or I just read that Zach is being inducted into the Memphis Grizzlies Hall of Fame.
Yep.
So
Congratulations.
That's
to
another
him.
big honor for Zach Randolph, another Grant County kid.
Absolutely. Anybody really stand out to you in this first round? Any players? Because this Evans kid from Colorado State, man, he balled, and he kind of spearheaded Colorado State's 78-70 victory over Memphis. I mean, he contributed very significantly to that team's success, and it's always a team game, and I feel like he made everybody better on that. And here's something I don't understand. Duke did not. I don't think Duke needed Cooper Flagg to play.
No, yeah, he rest him another day.
I felt like why risk it? But despite his injury, he played a pivotal role in that 93-49 win. It's Mount St. Mary's, and I hate to count anybody out, but they beat him 93-49. I
Yeah.
wouldn't. Why would you even start him? Let him see the floor,
I agree. I mean,
other than keep rust off of it.
you're going against a 13 seed. You're heavily favored. Yeah, I don't. No, I mean Duke. They would have been going against a 16 seed, but yeah, you're heavily favored in that game. I don't know. I think the person that stood out to me was the first game of the tournament. TKR from Purdue. Mm-hmm. That guy, he's something else. Trey Kaufman-Renn, he had an all around very good game, I thought. But you know how the tournament is. There's going to be these. You never heard of these people, and they're going to make a show. And kudos to them.
Absolutely. Not that I'm a foremost or the foremost expert on college basketball. I've watched a lot, and man, it always takes me back to when going through school, even from 6th grade all the way through high school. it was like in the mornings we would watch Channel 1 news.
Yeah.
And then after that, every game was on TV. And even though we were being taught, it's like looking up, checking out that tube TV up in the corner.
Yep.
What team performances stood out to you the most, man? Because the Florida Gators, man, they cruised past Norfolk State, and I thought their offense was incredible. I thought they were crazy.
I think between them and Duke, I think that's, Auburn has, even though Auburn's the overall number 1 seed, they haven't been consistent the last couple of weeks. So, the way Florida played, the way Duke played, pretty dominant right there. So, but you know how it is, you can't overlook the next one. It's a 1-game season now.
And we didn't plan this at all, Ted. But the other team that I thought showcased their dominance in the first round, Michigan State. This guy.
Izzo's my favorite coach.
They secured an 87-62 win over Bryant. I mean,
It was tight in the first half, though.
Their defense, man.
That's
Their defense is their strength.
this year for sure. It is. Yes.
He got them to lock that down. I was very impressed by that performance. It was super. I don't watch NBA that much anymore, just for the lack of defense. But watching a team that's their main goal is not to let you score. I really appreciate that, and I would love to see the NBA go back to that. I miss those days of, and not to get off the NCAA, but I miss those days of you're not going to go through the lane and get a layup.
Back in the bad boys. Yeah. I agree.
And I feel like the Spartans are a lockdown defensive team that they're a number 2 seed, and I don't want to say a dark horse, but they could do some damage, Teddy.
I think they can make a run to the Final Four. There's got to be something in that water up there in Michigan. I mean, who wouldn't want to play for Izzo? Just like over at Detroit, who wouldn't want to play for Dan Campbell? So, they did have some problems with the water a couple years ago, right? In Flint.
Yeah, in Flint, Michigan. Yeah.
See, we're up to date on current affairs.
We try. So today, second round. I think you said the first game starts at 12:10.
12-10, McNeese State and Purdue.
Okay. You got any potential upset opportunities you're looking at there, Teddy boy?
I think McNeese State's going to give Purdue a really good game.
Really?
I think Creighton will give Auburn a good game. Gonzaga, number 8 seed, taking on Houston, the number 1 seed. Then you mentioned earlier, UConn and Florida tomorrow. That'll be a good one.
Yep.
I think Illinois and Kentucky will be a good one.
I'll tell you what game I can't wait to see.
I bet I know which one you're going to say.
Tell me.
Arkansas and St. John's?
Teddy, you looking at my test? Anyways,
That's how I got through school.
not if you sat by me, buddy. Not if you sat by me.
Well, I knew you was the person to your left, so I.
Yeah. Arkansas Razorbacks versus the St. John's Red Storm. John Calipari, Rick Pitino, 2-2 against each other in the tournament. Arkansas is fresh off an upset of Kansas.
Yep.
And they're going to face St. John's. Are you for real? This could it get any better?
No, that's 2 Hall of Fame coaches going against each other. I read where Pitino said, "I'm not coaching against Calipari. My team's going against his team."
I like that. I like that.
That's
See, that's who I thought IU should have went after. I thought they should have went after Rick Pitino.
he's too old.
He's too old. You want some energy brought here. Okay, all right. Well, his number 2 seed's playing this 10 seed. I think there's a chance for an upset here.
I do too.
I think Calipari's going to break this tiebreaker.
It's
The Razorbacks got some momentum, and I think they really could challenge this higher seed Red Storm.
I do too.
I'm putting in a frozen pizza, everybody. You better be ready for my frozen pizza TikTok review. It's coming out today.
Is it Totino's?
It is.
Them
No,
dollar 10 cent Totino's back in the day.
Nah, I got a screaming Sicilian. I don't know if Patino's Sicilian, but he's Italian, right?
I'm assuming.
It's all Greek to me.
I've got leftover chuck wagon in the fridge.
Oh yeah.
But see, but speaking of this game, it's still hard for me to watch Coach Cal wearing red instead of blue.
Yeah. You'll have that. I'm repping. Check this out.
Yeah.
Rookies hooking it up.
Colts blue.
Yeah. Royal. I'm colorblind, so I can't really tell. So, anyways, I like this matchup too. Colorado State, the Rams and the Wildcats.
It's the Maryland.
Yeah.
Maryland.
Oh yeah.
Maryland Terrapins.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a good game. Could be.
Yeah, that. Then the one right after it as well. Ole Miss and Iowa State.
Oh yeah.
That'll be good.
I think Colorado beating Memphis really gave them that confidence boost. I mean, they were a 12 beating a 5, and then Maryland. They're probably looking at Maryland. Oh, they're just they're a 4 seed. We just beat a 5 seed.
Right.
And if we beat a 5 seed by 8, I think we can beat a 4 seed by 6.
Right.
Something like. I mean, that's the kind of mentality you got to have. Excuse me for miscombobulating or discombobulating, whatever they call it.
One or the other.
Yeah.
That's like I seen before the tournament started. Somebody had Maryland going to the Final Four in their bracket. I can't remember. It was a writer. It wasn't one of the talking heads you see every day, but it was a so-called expert writer.
Well, I remember IU playing Maryland in the championship.
Yep.
It was the last time IU went to a championship.
Yeah.
And Juan Dixon for Maryland.
Juan Dixon.
Whatever happened to him? I don't know.
He had a few years in the NBA, but he just
Didn't show up like he should have.
yeah. That's if you recall in that game there, IU had a Grant County player on that team.
They did.
Oak Hill's Jared Odell played in
Yep.
that national championship game.
Yep, they sure did. And these are my key matchups that are going to be fun to watch today. Duke and Baylor. I think that's going to be a good fun game to watch. Not the biggest Duke fan, but I've always kind of considered myself a little bit of an asshole, so I did enjoy the Bobby Hurley, Christian Laettner years and how everybody hated Duke. Sometimes I like to be the villain too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's,
What are your thoughts on that game? High octane offensives clashing together.
yeah. 'Cause
Hopefully, a resilient defenses. I'm playing this up too hard, ain't I?
well, no, you're right. I mean, Baylor didn't have as good of a season they have had in the past, but Scott Drew's a great coach. I mean,
This should be electrifying.
yeah, John Shire for Duke. What an amazing job he's did.
Yep.
And I read yesterday when he was in high school, he averaged 32.8 points a game.
Holy Moses.
He played in Illinois. But yeah, can Baylor contain Cooper Flag though? Cooper Flag's all around. I mean, it's not just about scoring. He's gonna find the open man.
Do you let him? Do you let him do his thing, but try and lock down everybody else?
So, I don't know.
I don't. I'm not.
I wouldn't. I mean, I'm gonna double him every time he touches the ball. You know,
You're gonna put that pressure on him, right?
make somebody else beat you.
All right. I like it, Teddy. And then this UConn game. What are we looking at? Or the Florida?
UConn, Florida, an
Yeah.
8 seed against a 1 seed.
Yeah.
He's the best effing coach in the country, right? That's what he says.
I like
Last
that.
2 years he was.
I like that. I like that confidence. Do you think I mean, a team hasn't three-peated since the
UCLA Bruins.
Bruins. What year was that? 19.
They went from like 68 to 71, I believe it was.
That's what I'm saying, man. That was a long time ago.
Well, yeah, so I don't think it'll ever happen again. Not with the NIL and players leaving early for the NBA draft.
Well, this is just my opinion. This I don't know if this is considered a hot take, but I think today's kids want to play for a coach like him.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, somebody
Speaks his mind, takes no shit.
is gonna, if he has to get in your face, he's gonna get in your face.
Yeah. Emotional, what do they call it? Not emotional, passionate.
Yeah, and
Passionate. That term gets thrown around a lot. I think it's overused, but I like somebody who's fearless.
yep.
I'm not afraid to lose a fight. Let's go.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. He is a good coach, and like I said, he don't care what other people's opinion of him are. But we don't have that in society anymore.
No.
You have to be careful what you say. You can't.
Oh, my
You
feelings.
can't yell at little Johnny.
My feelings.
Yep. Whatever.
I mean, there's a reason why they have that saying, the truth hurts. Mm-hmm. It's because it does.
It does.
And sometimes I want people to tell me the truth. Not because it hurts, because I deserve to know the truth.
Are you going to learn more if you're told the truth?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know how you get to the truth? You ask questions.
Yep, for sure.
So as this tournament progresses, man, I think everybody, and I feel like it's a lot of our community and our county, they can expect some really exhilarating moments. I think we're going to have a lot more close games in the second round. Buzzer beater wise, I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, the first round wasn't exciting as years past.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to get better as we go on.
Yeah, unexpected outcomes. Stay tuned, everybody, for further March Madness updates. I think we're going to do one every round. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think we should.
Why not? I feel it's our duty.
It's a tough time getting guests on right now with spring break and basketball's wrapping up. High school basketball's wrapping up. We're going to jump right into track and field and baseball.
Yeah. But before we cut out, Teddy, I wanted to bring this up. Just a lot of my childhood, what time I got to spend with my grandfather meant a lot to me. We watched WWF wrestling back when it was WWF, WCW. We watched a lot of boxing. Mm-hmm. And yesterday, George Foreman passed away.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And I got to see a couple of his fights on TV, and what a great, resilient boxer. He came back to win the title and became like the oldest boxer to regain his championship. And I know you probably had a George Foreman grill.
Yes, I did.
I knew it. Well, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I had one too.
I like it.
And I'll tell you what, I got some burgers. I got some. That's my original smash burger right there. Is I would press down real hard because I'll tell you, there's nothing like a burger that has a little bit of burnt ends around it. I love that
Crispiness on the
crispy.
edges.
Yeah. But I mean, that man. How many kids did he have that were named George?
I can't remember, but it was quite a few.
He had a lot of kids, but not to take away from what he did in the ring. This man, lost his title to Muhammad Ali, and I mean, in '73 he beat Joe Roman, and against Ken Norton in '74. The Rumble in the Jungle, and he lost it to Muhammad Ali. R.I.P. R.I.H. to George Foreman. I mean, I got to see him knock some suckers out. He had a powerful punch.
Yes, he did. He was a very big, strong man.
But got anything to add?
Yeah, I want to talk just a minute here. You look at the talking heads on TV, whether it's Stephen A. or Pat McAfee or even your play-by-play people. That's a dream job, right? Wouldn't we all like to do that? Do you think it's easy? Think about it. Is that an easy job for those guys?
My opinion, hell no.
No, I mean that's because I was just reflecting on this stuff this week, and it's like you got to look at it. I mean, okay, Bob Costas, what's he cover? He's famous for baseball, right?
Yeah.
The Olympics. Then you got your lesser knowns. I've always wondered, I'm sure the higher up, the bigger people, the bigger name you have, you've got your personal assistants that take care of everything for you. But what about some of these other guys? Do they have to book their flights, book their hotel rooms? How many red-eye flights do these people go on? You're out in L.A. and, I got to be back to New York or Connecticut in the morning. The research they have to do. Okay, now you've got your experts each sport, but look at these people. I just can't imagine the research these people have to do to stay up on everything. Just like Matt Taylor for the Colts. They'll say he's all Colts, but every day he's researching, he's studying. I just I guess some of those people do deserve the money they're getting. That can't be an easy job.
It's a lot of research. You want to know the players' names, their positions, their backgrounds, experiences that they have had. I watched a game that Jalen Rose called yesterday, and I thought Jalen did a good job.
I think, I've always liked him.
I've always
as a broadcaster.
He was a pacer, man. I mean, Jalen Rose. I was like, that's cool. One of the Fab Five.
Yep.
Indiana Pacer.
But that's I don't know. That's just we do our little sports talk on here, but man, just wow, I just can't imagine.
Yep.
I'd love to try it though.
Heck yeah, I'd love to get that paycheck too.
It's be out in L.A. tomorrow, and okay, we gotta be back in Chicago tomorrow morning.
I don't know about flying now, Teddy. Man, these planes are falling like rocks.
We're not gonna. we stay away from politics. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. Change the subject. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.
Later.